Okay, we have here a cell that's doing what all cells know how to do, something we still don't know how to do, and that's to multiply by dividing. We haven't been able to figure out how to do that. We either have to multiply or we have to divide. This cell has just been fertilized, and it is going to go through what is known as the dance of life. Or it will divide the first time, and right after that it will divide again. Each time it will duplicate itself. In order for it to duplicate itself, it's got to duplicate the blueprint of the entire body. This is a process that takes 11 months from the time of conception until you have the full count of 75 trillion cells. This is a rather amazing thing when you consider the fact that it is actually very, very accurate. Only 1 out of every few million are mutant. The rest are accurate. The rest have the DNA. This is the DNA. It's a long spiral staircase, nucleotides, a nucleoprotein configuration. And the first thing that happens before a cell can divide, this has to actually divide. But if it was to divide in half, it would only have half the information to pass on. So you have nucleotides on the inside of the nucleus that attach themselves in proper sequence to the DNA, so that by the time the DNA finishes its division, instead of dividing in half, it is actually divided in 2. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my co-author, Larry, the lymphocyte. Notice that he has the capability of changing direction. There has to be some type of thought process going on, regardless of how minute it is. And notice also he is very friendly to the red blood cells, but he's not too friendly to that metabolic garbage that he just found. He simply stops and has lunch. He gets rid of the metabolic garbage. So we find that Larry has the responsibility of keeping things clean, tidy. There's a little bit of bacteria there, a little streptococcus, and he surrounds the streptococcus and begins to get rid of it by ingestation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the original Pac-Man. This dark area is a cell that's going to die. You see, another responsibility that Larry has is to get rid of the dead cells, so it doesn't build up garbage on the inside. It's surrounded by white blood cells, but the white blood cells don't pay any attention to it until it dies. Now watch what happens to the white blood cells. See, nobody has to tell them their job. They simply get in and start doing what they're supposed to do, and that is to get rid of the dead cells. This is a process or a function of the white blood cells that has to happen, that if in fact it didn't happen, that you would be completely choked up within just a couple of months, and you would not be able to continue to live.
Do they not create waste? I mean,
What's that?
how do they expel what they...
They expel it. They expel the waste, but it becomes the amino acids and the basic concepts of the body, and some of it is used again by the body. This cell is going to divide, but instead of dividing in 2, it divides in 4. This is actually a cancer cell. 2 of the cells fail to separate. Therefore, you're going to have 1 cell with 2 nuclei. By the time we put our cameras in on these guys, we found that 2 lymphocytes had already found their way into the cancer cell, and you have another cell on the outside surface trying to break through the surface to get into the other 2 lymphocytes. We could learn a lot from this little guy. He tries once, backs up, tries again, backs up, tries again. He doesn't give up. We counted about 6 or 7 times that it actually charged the cell membrane trying to break through. And finally, there's the breakthrough. Now you have 3 lymphocytes inside 1 cancer cell, and the cancer cell is going to be destroyed. This is cancer tissue. The fast-moving cells on the inside are lymphocytes. And they're moving around and scurrying around and killing or poisoning the cancer tissue, and the cancer tissue dies. That was so much fun. Let's watch that one again. Cancer tissue. You have 2 lymphocytes moving around, destroying cancer tissue by poisoning them, and the cancer can't handle it anymore, and there is the total and complete destruction of the cancer. Now, isn't that exciting?
breaking down you saw there? Does it look like fluid?
Yeah, that was the entire cancer tissue of thousands of cells, and you had two cells on the inside. The two cells on the inside are cytotoxic T cells, or they're known as killer cells. They have